Hello there. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm super excited to have you with me again. And today we're going to be diving into a very, very important topic. Something that applies to many of us. Now, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been, in that place where you need to have a conversation with someone? It may be with a challenging coworker. It may be, addressing an issue with an employee, or even, something sensitive, that you need to talk to or talk about with your boss. And you now wonder those conversations that you wish wouldn't happen, that you wish you could just do away with, but you know that they have to happen. And they're important because there's so many benefits of having, as difficult as they are, there's so many benefits of having those conversations. So today I'm going to be talking to you about handling difficult conversations in the workplace with confidence. So don't go anywhere, stay with me as we dive into this topic. By the end of this video, I'm sure you will be armed with the right tools and the confidence to handle those kind of conversations. So now, to start with, before we delve into, what we can do to handle those kind of conversations, I want to start by sharing with you why it is important to have those kind of conversations. Now, it's important to have that because it would help in your own personal and professional growth. Once you learn how to master having those kind of conversations, it also helps to improve teamwork, creates a more healthy work environment for you and your colleagues. And the benefits are just countless. It just builds trust, it builds confidence, and it helps you to address issues and situations. Things are not lingering and, festering and bringing up other more complicated issues. So having said that, how do you now, have these conversations? The first thing I would say is preparation. You need to prepare. If you're going to have a difficult conversation, already it's difficult. So you need, right from the get-go, you need to define the goals of that conversation. What do you intend to achieve at the end of that conversation? What do you want the outcomes to be? It has to be crystal clear. And then you need to, gather relevant information and facts concerning or regarding that issue. So you're not talking to someone and you don't have the right facts and that would not go well. Then you need to plan your approach and choose the right time and place. So if, for instance, something happens and everybody is angry and tempers are flying, and that may not be a good time to want to sit and have a conversation. Make sure you're cool, you're calm, make sure the other person too is calm, and it's in the right place, a conducive place where you can actually open up and talk freely, and confidentially if need be. And then another thing you need to do is you need to anticipate potential objections, And so people are not always going to take everything you say hook, line, and sinker. The person has their own standpoints and may be wanting to prove, oh, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to have, or this is not right, and all of that. So you need to anticipate that. And then, of course, you need to practice. If it means sitting in front of a mirror, if it means, just go through the things you have to say, the facts, be sure of what you want to say, practice. You can practice with somebody you trust. You can practice, like I said, standing in front of a mirror, can just run those things through your mind. You can have, like a piece of paper or a notepad and just jot down the points you want to say so you're sure that you do not forget. So after you have done that, the next thing is active listening and empathy. So everybody wants to be listened to. And everybody, you see, when you're talking to somebody and you're addressing an issue that is difficult, that, it's not like one of those happy conversations. The other person wants to feel that you also understand them. So you need to put yourself in the person's shoes. It's not, you don't jump to conclusions. You need to show empathy, and then you need to be listening actively. So what do? when to ensure that you're listening actively, maintain eye contact. So as you're talking to that person, make sure you're looking at them. Avoid interrupting them. Listen through. Let them talk through. If you need to take notes in case you have questions to ask, anything to confirm from them, you could write it down, but always give them your attention. Then use open-ended questions so that it encourages dialogue. When you ask them something, let them have room to be able to explain or to speak, rather than just questions that will just, give you a yes or no answer. Then you need, of course, like I said, show empathy by acknowledging their feelings and their own perspective. You should be able to tell them, okay, I understand how you feel. I understand your own perspective. However, ... All right, so the next thing you need to do. Now, effective communication is critical. For you to handle difficult conversations in the workplace with confidence, you need to be able to communicate effectively. So you need to be clear and concise. You need to, whatever you're saying, no ambiguity, clear, straight to the point. Use I statements so that you express your own opinion, your own stand, oh, this is how I feel about it. This is how I see. And then stay calm. Stay calm and composed, even if the other person gets emotional. That's not a time for you. As much as possible, ensure that throughout that conversation, your emotions are in check. And then use non-verbal communication, non-verbal cues, that would help you to convey your message more effectively. All right, and also your sincerity, so your body language and all of that. Then the next thing to do, now, in case you now talk to the person and you find that they're resisting, or there's a kind of conflict during this conversation, here's certain things that you can do if that happens. The first thing is to acknowledge the other person's perspective, even if you disagree. So you can disagree without being disagreeable. So acknowledge their perspective, stay focused on the issue that is at hand. And you see, one thing I'm going to say also is that throughout this conversation you're having, don't focus on the person. Don't focus on people, focus on issues. What happened? Your conversation should not be around the person, the individual, but around the issues. And then look for common grounds and potential solutions. So what common ground can you find, and what potential solutions could you find? And then, of course, if necessary, you may need to suggest involving a mediator or your HR. If you find that it's not something you can handle, you need to escalate this issue, then you need to do that. And then to wrap up this conversation, there are certain things that you can do, as you wrap up. You need to summarize the whole discussion that you've had, just to ensure that you're all both on the same page. Okay, so if I understood you correctly, I'm just giving an example. You can tell the person, I told you this, and this, and that is what you said, and you agree because this, and then let them confirm that. And also be sure that they also understand where you're coming from, what you're saying, and so that the two parties involved, or whoever, if it's more than two people, whoever, everybody leaves that meeting with clarity, knowing that, okay, this is the resolution. Be clear on a way forward. Be clear on, okay, if you're able to resolve it, fine and good, you resolve it, everything is sorted. If you need to escalate, you all know that, okay, we need to escalate and all of that. And ensure that you express also your willingness to follow up and support the person, or in that situation, as things go by. So I hope that this has helped you to be able to build confidence and to prepare effectively for those very difficult conversations that we cannot do away with. We must have them if we work with people in the workplace. If this has helped you, please give this video a thumbs up. If you've not subscribed to this channel, kindly subscribe, share this video, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.